Hello, you lovely, lovely, lovely people, 3 times because you're so lovely indeed. Ah, I want to talk about something here that's, the chickens have started again. Oh, shit. But I want to talk about something, right? What's a lot of people say, and quite rightly so, when they say, well, with us older foreigners, going with younger ladies, okay, they say, well, who's going to take care of, your wife, partner, when you go? Are you going to leave something, or are you going to leave a bit of money so they got a bit of financial, stability? And quite right so, okay? But my point is, the way like a lot of people think, not me, but comments is that the wife you've left behind, do you think that she's never going to, find someone else? Of course she is. Or of course he is. It happens. It happens all the time, so as much as people might think, oh, well, that girl will be on her own for the rest of her life. No, she won't. No, she won't. She will mourn, probably, depending on how much that she was in love with you and things like that. But she will eventually move on, and quite right too. You know what I mean? If I died, I wouldn't expect my wife to stay on her own and be miserable forever. I would want her to move on and to find someone else and to regain her happiness in their life. So when people say, you old bastard, uh, you know, who's going to take care of your wife when you go? Well, come on, let's be real about it. And also, I know many women here and men who's lost their, same age as me, they've lost their partners. Granted, they were not with foreigners, they were with, Filipinos or Filipinas. And the men tend to get a partner again sooner than the ladies. And so they're not on their own for long. And it's like a social thing here, apparently, where, once their partner dies, they are maybe expected to find happiness again. And, and I'm totally for that. I want to see if I can cut those sounds of the chickens out. I don't think I can, people. I don't think I can, but I am trying to cut it out a little bit for you. They're talking to each other. So I don't think that it's a bad thing when your partner or yourself, you lose your partner. We don't need to, or they don't need to stay on their own forever and mourning you. Come on, move on, find somebody else. I said this to my wife, a while ago, and she said, oh, don't talk like that. But I said to her, Mira, when I go, if I go before you, which I'm probably guaranteed to, but I said to her, don't stay on your own, find someone else, whether it be a foreigner or whether it be any, don't think that, it's going to bother me because I'm not even here. But, think of your own happiness. And obviously don't think about what other people think. That's the problem that a lot of people have these days. If they worry too much of what people think. I've learned to stop doing that a long time ago. Not about my YouTube channel and the comments, but about what people think what I'm doing. Like when I came to the Philippines, many people said, I'm going to see if I can cut that chicken out a little bit. Not kill it, but just to shut the door a little bit. And to shut the windows a bit, because it does deaden it a little bit. But the thing is, my wife's got all the windows open upstairs as well. So, I give it what people thought about me ages ago, because I was too concerned. That was my problem. I used to be too concerned about what people thought, what I did, who I went with, and things like that. But I soon learned to do things that I wanted to do. And I mean that in a sense of coming to the Philippines. Many people said, I've got the Philippines, you crazy bastard. You're mental going there. You're mental. But they could have been right. But if I'd have listened to them, I wouldn't be here right now. And this is what I'm saying. Is many people don't let other people make their own minds up. Or the people who are being coached by other people aren't strong enough to make their own minds up. Do you know what I mean? And this is why we stop doing things. It's like if my wife and I died, I'm going to kneel down a bit, let me see. So, let's just say that I died and people around us said, oh, don't go with no one else. It's not the thing to do. What will people say? But what people say, find your own happiness. And that's it. This is what we have to do. And all of these people who say, well, when you go, who's gonna support your wife? Have you thought about that? Well, yeah, I have thought about it, and she will find somebody else. And the same as your partner will probably find somebody else, and somebody else to take care of them, whether it's be a foreigner or a Filipino. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And like I said, here there are a number of people that have lost their husbands and wives, and most of them, not all of them, are with another partner now. And some are sooner than others at finding a partner. There's someone here that I know. He's moved away now, but his wife died, and I don't think she was even called. And there was someone else who moved into the house. I think that's a little bit quick though, and there was a lot of chismis about that. But I think that was a little bit close, to be honest with you. But maybe they were together before they broke up. Who knows? Nothing to do with me. Don't care. But so this is it. The only thing that I do not worry about, because it's sorted, is my children here, because obviously they need taken care of if they were not working and all that sort of stuff and not left education. But that's already taken care of. That's taken care of, and that's the most important thing to me. My wife is an adult, and she's got plenty of family, whether they be good or bad, but they will just congregate together, and that's it. And that's how it is here. And I think that's how it is all over the world, more or less. But I think the older that the people or the person is who's been left behind by a deceased person, maybe they don't go with somebody like my grandmother, for an example. When she lost my granddad, but she was old at the time as well, but she never found anybody else. One of my aunties who lost her uncle, he was related through marriage, not through blood like my auntie, but she remarried again, and that's what happens, and that's what we expect. We don't want these people who think, oh God, no, he's going to take care, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Well, they will be on their own for a certain amount of time, and then they will find someone else and move on with that other person, and everything is hunky-dory, lovely jubbly, and that's how I would expect it to be. Like if my wife died, oh, God forbid, I would mourn, but I'm sure further down the line that I would probably want, a companionship again. But who knows? Who knows? And I know there's a lot of people who they never find another companion because either they were too in love with that person, or they felt guilty, or it wasn't the thing to do for them. But on the whole, to my observations, Filipinas will find someone else, and that's how it is, and quite right too. Life goes on. Life goes on, and this is it's just what I'm saying to you, because when people say, well, who's going to take care? And I've just said that. I think I've gone over that a few times, but my wife will be taken care of, and she's not on her own. She's got a big family. Whether some of them are good and some of them are bad, it's irrelevant. She will be taken care of by the family, and of course she's got this house and everything like that, and probably when I'm dead and gone, all of the family will move into this house. Look, I don't care. I'm not here. As long as they don't move into it while I'm alive, that's all I'm concerned about. When I'm dead and gone, I don't know anything that's happening. She could invite the whole clan into this house. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest, because I'm not here. But like I said, all the time I'm alive, this is our house and our house only. We've got another one on the way, haven't we? Another kid on the way. All right, yeah. Anyway, I think worrying about what other people say regarding comments on Facebook, on YouTube, is irrelevant as well. Like a lot of you said to my video I did the other day, where I said this person who said, don't keep giving advice, you know, blah blah blah. And a lot of you said, don't worry what other people say. It's true. It's true. And like I said, I don't ram advice. I haven't got an ego or anything like that and say, yes, don't do this. If you do this, that's going to happen. I've never done that. I never will do that because that's not my character. The only things that I observe is just what I see in the Philippines. Whether you see these things or not is irrelevant to my story. My stories that I tell is things that I've observed. And, you know, some people say that we shouldn't be giving advice, but that's probably right in a way. But for people who've never been here, it's nice to have a little bit of insight. A little bit of insight. Like I said, our experience is not going to be the same as your experience. Relationship issues. One person's relationship issues is not going to be the same as that person's issues. I think many of us expats are we are too premature in blaming our partners. I really do think that. I do, honestly. Because I think a lot of foreigners who's got a lot of money, they come here for a woman or they meet a lady here and they expect, I think I've said this, I can't remember, but I think I might have said it in previous videos a long time ago, is because they think that they are the breadwinners, that their Filipina should do everything that they, almost like a slave. And that's just totally wrong. I think you're both equal. It doesn't matter how much money she's got or how much money you've got or how much money she hasn't got. You're still equal in that relationship. And this to me is what makes it work, I think, is thinking of you both as equals, not as you are being male chauvinistic. That's just a terrible thing. That's gone out with the ark as far as I'm concerned. Especially here. What I've observed here is the women are the bosses. The men will finish their work and they will go and have a few drinks, and get pissed. And then all of a sudden, their wife will come. I've seen it. And these men actually shit themselves because they know that they are going to be in for and they are not backward in coming forward when they start, like having to go at their men, and the men just pick themselves up, with their tail in between their legs and go home. So here, I think it's similar in England as well. I think, the days of the man going to work back in England and the woman staying at home doing the cooking, the cleaning, taking care of the kids and taking care of the house are long gone. Because obviously back in England, you need 2 salaries these days to make ends meet. Here, it's okay. But I've noticed here as well with these overseas Filipino workers, they go to work and their husbands just live a life of joy here. Many of them. Some of them do work, but the ones I know don't, and their wives send them money back every month, and they live in the life of Riley, aren't they? Their wives are in a foreign country, working their little asses up, which they do, because they get very little time off when they're working in Saudi or somewhere like that in the Middle East. They get very little time off, and the men are here waiting for that, for the money to come, and they just get pissed on the money. There's a lad here, and I said to him before, he borrows money off of me, but he borrows money and he always pays it back because he's waiting for his wife's allowance that she sends him, and he only borrows 500 pesos at a time. And I said, Tanda, why? Yeah. And it's only about 2 or 3 days before he's due his allowance. Fair play to him, fair play to him. But I feel sorry for these women. But granted, he takes care of the house here. He's got fighting cocks and all that kind of stuff and pigs, and he just takes care of the house. And he doesn't drink very often. He's not one of these people who waste the money, I suppose, because she was sending money back, and he has built a house. And I saw her actually. She was here at Christmas time, and she was saying to me, "Is he borrowing money?" I says, "Yes, he does." I said, "He always pays it back." She says, "Yes, because I give him the money to pay." She says, "I always say, pay Stephen back the money that you owe him," and he always has. But these Filipino foreign workers work bloody hard. And some of them for nothing, because they send them money back, maybe to their parents, I don't know. And a lot of them probably do good with it, but I think a lot of them also don't. You know, they just drink it or gamble it, and their daughters or their wives are in these foreign countries, all for nothing. And they are sacrificing a lot, because a lot of them have got children, and they go there to make a better life for the children. And unfortunately, the person who's left in charge here is not maybe providing for them like they should with the money that's being sent. I don't know. It's just what I think. It's just what I think I've seen a few times. But that's it, people, anyway. And I'm kneeling down on the floor because I don't want to go outside. I don't want to sit on next. I've got a bad back. I really have. I think it's doing the... Oh, look, I'll show you. The tiles are finished. The tiling is... I will show you, people. Here. Tiles here all finished in here in my little office. I've got to put the bookcase there with the books on it, and here as well. This is all finished in here, as you can see. All done. What's happening here? This bloody cat, that's it, all here. And obviously the living room. You've seen the living room. Look, this camera's gone everywhere. It's shooting all over the place. Out here with the living area. It was a big area, this, really. The bathroom, did the bathroom, that's all tiled and everything. And also out here on this, all done. So now I've got more free time to myself. More free time to make some videos and stuff, and to go fishing and whatnot. But thank you, people, for always giving me some kind comments and some enthusiasm to continue making videos. Some of you might think, oh, fuck's sake, stop making videos, Stephen. Come on, leave it out. But thank you for the ones who do give me some encouragement to continue making videos. That's it. Over and out. Over and out.